Hello, guys. I'm Shay Davis, 20-year comic book veteran. I'm here with another beautiful, lovely. Sometimes she will make me a sandwich, Yanzi Lynn.
Hi.
And today is the day we're here to talk about Heather Antos as she rises to the new position at IDW. So here we go. Now, Heather Antos in comic parts is a little bit of a household name. If you're not subscribed, now is the day. Now give me a Christmas present. Today is the day to give me your subscription. Look down below, hit that subscribe button, leave us a like, leave us a comment at the end of the video, actually. So Heather Antos is a bit of a household name in the American comic book industry. Some parts for not being able to having misspelling errors while she was on the clock at Marvel Comics. At the same time, you could see she was on Twitter on the clock at Marvel Comics. She's also kind of known for hating Comicsgate. That's a bit of it. Being a great big kind of, some people would say, milkshake one. There was the whole milkshake girls thing. You can go look that up on your own. A lot. She's gotten around. Spider-Gwen kind of based off of her, self-insertions in the background of the comics she's in, things like that. Big editor, big old ego. So what happens when untalented people in the comic book industry, where the comic book industry is on its heels, okay, it's going down on the mat. And what happens with untalented people? Well, they're middlemen in comic book industry. They're going to be the hanger-ons to working in comics. Okay, a lot of people you're going to see in comics who actually have talent. We're going to move on to video games, storyboards, indie comics, crowdfunding comics. We want to remind people, Inglorious Rex getting ready to hit $240,000. We are only a few backers away from that goal. But back to Heather. So what do the hanger-ons do? You're going to keep hanging on. You will somehow make positions available. And SJWs, okay, they understand this is their queen. This is their head. This is Milkshake One. Milkshake One cannot go down. It's kind of like Black Hawk Down. I really hate to use it as a metaphor, but they're going to come in and pull her up no matter what, all right? The news is today that she's moving on up on IDW. Now, this at first you're like, good for Heather, whatever, who cares? But there's an interesting trail of events here at IDW. Now, IDW with the COOF was already rumored that there was going to be major restructures happening at IDW right away. I heard this about a little over a year ago. Little did I know it would be things like IDW losing things like Transformers and G.I. Joe, probably soon to be My Little Pony. Now, what's interesting here is with the news of this licensing moving and now going to Skybound, so I guess Robert Kirkman is gonna save it. Great big old Transformers fan. John Barber was leaving. He was on his way out at the same time. Didn't make sense. He was kind of moving along with the IP. Now, why is this a big significance to the company IDW, a company that's been losing money year after year? They were basically paying for the right to produce comics of Transformers just to have a reason to exist, to justify their existence. Were they making money on this? Probably not. Maybe they were even flush. Either way, it would have been a bad deal because any stories they created were having to be approved, but also Hasbro would own absolutely everything. So they were really never getting any type of intellectual return on whatever their efforts were. The money they were sinking in was just the ability to basically have this two big old geek lightning rods drawing people in that like Transformers, such as myself, or people that like G.I. Joe, like PTP. They were a reason that we even knew IDW existed. Okay, first understand that. That's gone. So you go, hey, this company's falling apart. And I will say, yes, it is. Absolutely, yes, it is. Nobody's saying it's not. I mean, Heather Antos left Valiant Comics with great old Ninjak, jokey comics. Interview of Heather Antos, you go look it up. She's talking about how comic retailers need to invest in other things than selling comics. Well, now she's being promoted to senior editor at IDW. So what is she going to do now? Double down on what she was saying a year ago and tell retailers that you need to now especially sell anything but IDW comics? I mean, what is she going to say? So there's a reason for this. this chain of events, and this actually has to do with Dark Horse in a weird way. Before Dark Horse, Nachi and Marshall had mentioned that they needed to do more creator-owned books. I find this interesting. Creator-owned market, everybody's going to go to Image, right? Except you have to get Image's approval. You have to get through the wall of Eric Stevenson and get your pitch approved just so they can take some of your money to print their books. Okay. So to some people that don't get their books picked up at Image, this actually sounds like a good deal. But these people do not know how to crowdfund comics. So again, Nachi here with experience from DC Comics and working at Disney Publishing, he starts mentioning things like, Zoop, Substack, Indiegogo, other things. But he's talking about IDW should be the home to creator-owned comics in 2022. Now, this is very telling, especially since IDW is a company that tries to share in, has shareholders, messes around with stocks, looks around for intellectual, properties that they can auction off to Netflix and such. And, this is becoming the new norm because a lot of these companies, again, look at a video of ours about Dark Horse and how Dark Horse acquired basically production rights in anything that they printed. This has a value, especially if you want to position yourself as a sell-off. And a lot of these companies are going to start to do this and sell themselves off before the curtain falls down around them. And what is that curtain? That curtain is kind of Diamond Comics, but not just Diamond, but the infrastructure of selling floppy comics, meaning the American comic book industry. And this kind of goes back to what Heather was saying. And this is the irony in the whole bit is comic retailers need to, basically position themselves to sell other goods besides comics. These are tough times in comics. So what in the world would IDW be positioning themselves in creator-owned? Well, look at Dark Horse. There's tons of companies that wish they were Dark Horse right now, getting bought out by a Swedish company, has no interest of doing anything but video games and selling off production rights to media and other things and buying other companies, and they're just buying and flipping. And when you're in a position of selling something, you really don't care what happens to it after you get through with the sale. After that check clears, you don't care what happens to comics. You got your money, you're okay. So why creator-owned? Well, creator-owned is the only, it's the new frontier. Marvel and DC, or basically Disney and AT&T Discovery, basically own all the intellectual properties. So the only new intellectual properties are going to come from creators, and these middlemen, these people, these hanger-ons, they're going to hustle. They're going to manipulate, and they're going to try to get in there and get you to bring your creator-owned book to them. And I'm sure Heather Antos's rise to power, once again, is going to be a shout-out to a lot of SJWs. So Milkshake One says, bring your creator-owned books to IDW. So what are they going to do, though, after they get a couple of hits up under their arms? Ideally, they hope to be Dark Horse Comics and sell themselves off. On that note, please hit like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Look down below, leave me a comment, let me know how far off do you think I am here. And also, everybody have a Merry Christmas. And if you haven't, consider backing Inglorious Rex. We put out an update today. On this update, we will be taking down hats, season's greetings. So hope you guys have a good holiday, and we will catch you guys again. If we don't see you in another video, we will see you again in the new year. So take care. Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, I don't know where to begin, all this dirt on my skin, I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a past the doctor. I got a 6 cents for a prostate, so now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control